Newcastle United decided to take the Scorpion out of their pockets. But the market response was a bucket of cold water. 3 major investments, more than 100 million on the table, and their Premier League rivals slammed the door in the Magpies' faces. What does this mean for the summer transfer market? Stay until the end, because there's a hot deal coming up. Newcastle's message was clear. The club is ready to compete at a high level. The board opened the safe and tried to kill 3 birds with 1 stone: João Pedro, Anthony Elanga, and James Trafford. The package? Almost $125 million. But what happened? The door was closed in all 3 cases. Starting with João Pedro, Brighton have already made it clear that they will not release the Brazilian for less than 60 million. The Magpies' first offer was 50 million talent and was ignored. But the story doesn't end there. Anthony Elanga, another target, had a $45 million offer, promptly rejected by Nottingham Forest. The club does not want to negotiate the Swede under any circumstances. Burnley, on the other hand, put James Trafford on the shelf for 35 million SEB. It's a heavy price for a goalkeeper who's shown in the Championship but has yet to prove himself in the top flight. The English club's stance shows the scenario that Eddie Howe had already predicted: total inflation in market values within the Premier League itself. And this is setting off alarm bells at St James's Park. It is worth remembering that last year, Newcastle had already backed out of a similar negotiation. The target was Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace, but the Newcastle tax, as Howe himself called it, spoke louder, and the board did not agree to pay more than they thought was fair. Result? They walked away from the deal without looking back. And this philosophy remains firm. Howe and the board are not willing to pay inflated prices just because they have money. The club wants to do smart business, and has already proven this. Players like Isak, Tonali, Botman, and Bruno Guimaraes came from outside the Premier League and did their job. Despite the negatives, there is still optimism behind the scenes. The situation at Trafford is still considered open and negotiable. And, in the case of João Pedro, if Brighton really agrees to negotiate for $60 million, the Magpies are in a position to cover it. As for Elanga, he seems out of reach, at least for now. Newcastle is in the game. It is investing. It is aiming high. But it is also showing that it will not let itself be swayed by the pressure of the domestic market. And that could be the difference in this window. The question is, where will the next attack be? And will someone from Europe come again? If you want to know everything about the next chapters of this summer soap opera, subscribe to the channel and leave a like, because here we will keep you up to date without any fuss.